Happy Rusev Day, everyone, and welcome to NoDQ Live here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel, youtube.com/AaronRift NoDQ. Thank you all for tuning in live. Today is January 2nd, 2018. NoDQ Virtue is here. I swear if Aaron starts singing this video, saying Happy Rusev Day. So he's already upset with me. Virtue's already upset with me. Big Mike says, hey Aaron, how's it going, guys? Thank you for tuning in. Victor says hello. What did you guys think about Smackdown Live tonight? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Were you indifferent? I thought it was a decent show, a little bit confusing at times. I thought it was a fairly confusing show, actually. The main event segment, we had Sami Zayn versus AJ Styles with Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon at ringside and Kevin Owens at ringside. You knew shenanigans were going down. I figured Sami Zayn would win the match, and in fact, he did win the match. You had the referee get knocked to the outside, and then the referee was trying to get back into the ring, and Kevin Owens was pretty much blocking the referee from getting into the ring when AJ Styles had the match won. The referee did get back into the ring. There was a near fall, and then you had Shane McMahon shove Kevin Owens. The referee sent Owens to the back, but in all the confusion, Sami Zayn hit the haluva kick and scored the pinfall victory. After the match, AJ Styles was very frustrated. He said he would take on both guys, which led to Daniel Bryan announcing at the Royal Rumble it will be a handicapped match. It will be AJ Styles defending the WWE title against both Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. TJS says it's not a triple threat because the Universal title match is. Great point there, TJS. I definitely think that that is a reason why this is a handicapped match. People asking, why is WWE doing a handicap match? Is Daniel Bryan turning heel? That certainly seems to be where this is going. Will it happen or will there be a swerve? I don't know. One thing is interesting, though. The crowd was booing Daniel Bryan a little bit. He did the yes chant at the end after he made the handicap match, and there were some boos. Kevin says it feels like a WCW match. Calvin Bowman says the ending of that main event of SmackDown sucked. Sin CK English should have won. I will get to that in a few minutes here. I do have something to say about that. Matthew Sullivan says Daniel Bryan looked like a heel at the end of the show. Damien says, glad I got to catch you live. Thank you for tuning in live. I appreciate it. Please spread the word. Share this video on social media. Ryan King from nearby Vancouver, Washington, nearby to where I'm at in Portland, says hi. How's it going, Ryan? DX says, so who will be champion if they pin Styles? Maybe WWE will do a repeat. Maybe they will do a repeat of 1998 where Kane and Undertaker both beat Austin at the same time, and then we had the Deadly Games tournament. Maybe the WWE title will be decided at the... Now I'm not even sure which pay-per-view it is. Is it Fastlane? I think Elimination Chamber is Raw. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think SmackDown is Fastlane, but I'm not sure, and I should know this. But yeah, I have a bit of a difficult time remembering the pay-per-views that are coming up. Faceman Buddha says, hey Aaron, happy Rusev Day. Tony H says, do an Owens-Zayn co-champions, have them switch who defends the title. The thing is, this is the WWE title. This is not a mid-card title, so I'm not really a fan of that. I know we had something like that years ago with Chyna and Chris Jericho, but that was the IC title, and the title was already watered down by that point. Eugene says a coin toss. I think AJ will retain the title. I'm guessing there will be more shenanigans. I know some of you feel like this storyline is already starting to get old. I'm seeing some comments here. Braden, on another note, says the Riot Squad shirts all look ugly in my opinion. DX says Rusev Chamber. Kevin says, for your information, the video quality is fine tonight. It should be. The funny thing about last night, I look back on it, I apologize for the terrible video quality. I have no idea what happened. It's not my internet, because last night I watched all 3 hours of Raw on Sling TV. No problems whatsoever. Picture quality was crystal clear. Same thing tonight. I'm watching on Sling TV on my TV, and obviously it's internet connection. Perfect. No problems whatsoever. So why the video last night was something out of 2003, I have no idea. It had to be something from YouTube's end. I don't know. And the chat room was loading fine too the whole time. So I have no idea what happened last night. But I'm glad to hear the video quality is a bit better tonight. Ooh, Damien says Virtue is a numbnuts. Somebody's asking to get banned. Remember, Virtue is a moderator here. We have Wade in here, or should I say Tommy. Thomas McCardle from Ring Scoops is here. Formerly known as Wade Needham. Of course, if you guys followed the old NoDQ CAW League, Wade was the commentator. Him and Bobby Spade, great times. Great part of NoDQ.com history. Ooh, Damien was timed out by TJS. You guys should go back. There are some videos on YouTube. If you look up NoDQ CAW, you can watch some of those old videos. Jason versus Freddy, Trip to Oblivion, Superman versus Batman, an all-time classic. Unfortunately, there will be no NoDQ CAW reunion because WWE and 2K Games had to put out a really crappy video game called WWE 2K18. So unfortunately, the NoDQ CAW reunion will have to wait. But maybe we'll get an S&J reunion. Slam and Jam, for those of you that remember Wade's old league. So check that out. Follow Wade over at Ring Scoops on Twitter and check out ringscoops.com. Anyways, back to SmackDown Live. Sin CK says Riot Squad is a weak faction. Yeah, I wasn't really a big fan of that match. It felt very flat to me. I agree with a lot of people on Twitter where it feels like WWE's just doing these 6-person, or should I say 6-woman tag team matches, and it's the same thing every single week, and it feels like there's no real storyline development. We did get the return of Becky Lynch, which was expected now that the Marine movie number 6, I think, is done. Becky made her return tonight, and also The Miz is coming back on Monday's Raw. Soul says, how much is Sling TV? It depends on the package you get. The one I have, I think, is about $30, and that includes USA Network and other stations. You can get like one with a sports package. I think that one's $40. There's different tiered packages you can get. I'm not sure if the cheapest one includes USA Network or not. I don't know off the top of my head, but I think it's a really good deal. There's a lot of quality stuff on there. Most of the stations that I'm interested in watching. Between that and Netflix, I'm pretty much set. And YouTube. There's a lot of stuff I watch on YouTube. All right, Jonathan. Did HBK sleep with that young intern, or was he up all night? You've said that like 5 times now, so you're clearly just trying to get attention. Say it again. I'm giving the authorization for you to be put in timeout, my friend. Is cable TV dead? Well, apparently there are still people using it because WWE keeps making a big deal out of people spending $50 for traditional pay-per-view when they can pay $9.99 for the WWE Network. It's been, what, 4 years now since the network launched, and WWE is still doing that? Mr. Vacation says, I like Hulu. Hulu's all right. I prefer Netflix, but, you know, Hulu has some stuff that Netflix doesn't have. Anyways, back to SmackDown Live. TGS says they're really hyping up Miz's return. Yeah, so much so that they are advertising Miz's return on the Rival show. You know, it's the little things. TK says Aaron Riff's beard for the Royal Rumble. Kuma says pretty damn good episode of SmackDown. Not gonna agree with that. I think it was decent. Decent SmackDown. I am not very happy about Aiden English losing to Xavier Woods. Now, We all know what's going to happen here. Most likely, it's going to be Jinder Mahal and Bobby Roode in the finals, with Mahal probably winning the title to make up for him losing the WWE title and losing his main event push. That would be my guess. I feel Xavier's just in it to put over Mahal. So I wasn't surprised to see Aiden English lose, but I'm disappointed because I'm a big Aiden English fan and I love that character. And it was a sad day. It was a sad Rusev day when Aiden English does not win. Bludgeon Brothers had another match with Breezango, which was like 10 seconds before the Ascension came out. Don't care. Filler. Not interested. Trying to think of some of the other segments that happened on this show. You guys might have to remind me of some of the segments that I have not talked about yet. Cheapest Heat, why did they not do a triple threat match? As TJS pointed out, you already have a triple threat match for the Universal title, so you got to do something different. Thus, the handicapped match. Hamp, I thought SmackDown was an average show. Very average. Okay, the Usos match. I do need to cover that. Tag team match was weird. Much like the main event segment, I thought it was very strange. You had Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin, not Jason Jordan as I wrote on Twitter, and I had to delete that. The match was really weird because it was only about 4 or 5 minutes in when all of a sudden there was a pinfall and we had new tag team champions announced. Now, I am an old school guy. I've been watching for a long time, and for years and years it was always said on TV that there's no instant replay rule in the WWE ring. A referee's decision is final. This is what the announcers, Jesse Ventura, and then later Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler, Howard Finkel, everyone would always say there's no instant replay rule. Referee's decision is final. So watching this now in 2018, you know, it's weird for me when there's an instant replay rule where you have the referee coming out and they're looking at the footage. And why don't they do this all the time? This is what just bugs me, because when you do this for every single match, if there's something controversial, anytime there's interference or some kind of shenanigans, when you always do the instant replay rule. So I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. I like the referee decision being final, because in the world of WWE, you have a lot of outside interference, a lot of shenanigans in these matches, and I think it just makes more sense that if you can get away with it, it's final, that's the end of it. I like that rule a lot more than instant replay rule, because if you're going to do instant replay, then you have to do it for every single match that ends in controversy. Otherwise, the whole thing makes no sense. So I'm not a fan of it. This is my rant for tonight. Not a fan of this instant replay storyline. And TJS says, I don't know if Benjamin and Gable are heels or not. I'm assuming they are. But it just could be that the fans like the Usos more. And again, this goes back to my other rant about there being a lack of real heels in WWE, particularly on SmackDown. I figured I just screwed up again. Gable and Benjamin, they would be the heels and they would actually have a proper heel turn. Is this the year of the Maharaja? No, it's the year of hopefully Aiden English and Rusev too. So what happened was you had the wrong guys involved in the pinfall. The referee came out. The match was restarted. Usos won. Whatever. I mean, I figured the Usos would retain anyways, so I was a little bit surprised. But still, I'm not a fan of the whole deal with the instant replay rule. Okay, Tommy McCardle, I love you, man, but you're starting to spam up the chat now. So I'm going to tell TJS that he has permission to do what he's got to do, even though I'm a big Ring Scoops guy. Rusev Rumble is in 25 days. Yes, it is. And I'm very much looking forward to it. Ring Scoops was just timed out. Poor Wade. Poor Tommy. Mike Nixon, how about Becky Lynch returning? I did mention that earlier. I did expect it since the movie is done, Marine 6 or whatever. I'm still not a big fan of the storyline, though. I feel like there's no real direction with it. And it's kind of lame also that just random people declaring themselves into the Royal Rumble. What's stopping anybody from declaring themselves into the Royal Rumble match? That I don't like. I would prefer if WWE did qualifiers, or if there was an official announcement about the participants, rather than just have random people come out and say, I'm in the Royal Rumble. Then another person, I'm in the Royal Rumble. When we all know, in the end, pretty much all the main people are going to be in the Royal Rumble. I'm just not a fan of it. I think it's lazy writing, lazy storytelling. So I'm not a fan of that either. Come to think of it, I was not a big fan of a lot of this show. I would give this show a C-. You know, average, but teetering towards below average. Wasn't a big fan of this show. Fox says, why is Daniel Bryan acting like a little bitch? Hopefully that is not detected by YouTube. Well, the idea is that Bryan is going to side with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. That's where the storyline is going. Where is it going to end up at WrestleMania? That I don't know. Because Daniel Bryan wrestling again, big question mark. I'll believe it when I see it. There's talk about maybe Owens and Zayn fighting Shane McMahon and a mystery partner. That's the latest speculation. Who knows? Some people are sick of the storyline right now. Cheapest Heat, you did not see the end apparently because Bryan got some boos. Brain says, what happened to Enzo? Just the flu, right? Apparently he got sick, maybe the same illness that Braun Strowman had. And Enzo was officially out of the mixed match challenge. Which, by the way, I really have no interest in watching, but I guess I will check it out since, you know, it is my job after all. But this is one of those concepts where if I wasn't doing this for a living as a job, I would not watch that show at all. No interest. But I will check it out and see what it's all about. And time will tell if it turns out to be anything decent. Keith says, no Dolph Ziggler. Yeah, I'm not expecting any Dolph Ziggler until the Royal Rumble. You know, maybe he'll be a surprise entrant. Maybe he'll crash the finals. I don't think that'll happen, though. No Shin on this show. No Randy Orton. A bunch of the top guys were not on this show. No Bobby Roode. So it does feel like there's too many people on the roster to the point where a lot of people are not being on the show. In some ways, it's good because you keep the guys fresh by not putting them on television every week. But then at the same time, you have no real storyline development. When, you know, 4 or 5 of your top guys are not on the show, you know, you have them on the show every week to advance the storylines. And there was no real advancement. The only thing we have is, oh, Royal Rumble's coming up, and that's the storyline. And then you have the other storyline, which is basically Daniel Bryan. And the question is he going to align himself with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn? Sorry, Blitz, but Shin greater than Shinsuke Nakamura. Sorry, brother. Xavier's Wood. Which Uso is with Naomi? I'm embarrassed to say I don't know. Somebody out there might have to help me out on that one. Jimmy, apparently. Jimmy Uso. I'm not sure if I could pick Jimmy Uso out of a photo lineup. As much as I love the Usos, I think they're great. I have been praising them this year. Or should I say last year, 2017. Holy cow, Beto just left a $20 super chat donation. Will you make a new t-shirt with the 20 years logo? Now that you have sent in a $20 super chat donation, the answer is yes. I will put out a 20-year anniversary t-shirt. Beto, you are now on the top of the NoDQ best friends list for that $20 super chat donation. Thank you, my friend. And any questions you have, anything you would like me to discuss, I will answer and I will put you at the priority. You are now NoDQ VIP. Beto is NoDQ VIP. So Beto, any questions or comments you have, let me know and I will go ahead and discuss, and I will interrupt any other topics I'm discussing to talk about what you want to discuss. VIP, any idea on John Cena winning the Royal Rumble? Well, there's rumors and speculation about John Cena being in a match bigger than a world title match. Does that mean Cena versus Undertaker? That seems to be something that's heavily rumored right now. I feel personally it's too late. Should have been done years ago. Oh, Beto says, sorry, dude, it's a 20 pesos donation. More like $1 US. Well, at least he's honest about it. I gotta say, Beto's honest about it. Tony H is like, that's Mexico, bro, not $20. All right. Well, you got me there. You got me all worked up for nothing, but still, thank you for the super chat donation. Much appreciated. Shady Snake says, I do not want to see Undertaker wrestle. It's painful. Beto is now out of the NoDQ VIP, but there's still opportunities for you guys to become a NoDQ VIP member. What do you get? That will be a surprise. Sin CK says, Shin wins the Royal Rumble to set up the Mania match with AJ. I think a lot of us would like to see that happen, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. And even if it is at WrestleMania, the funny thing is, it'll be like the mid-card. It'll be somewhere in the middle of the show and not really the focal point of the pay-per-view. What I would like to see is those guys be able to go out there and have the best match possible. Let them tear it up at WrestleMania and have an all-time classic. Beto says, I'd love to donate the $20 US dollars, but I prefer to buy a NoDQ shirt. Well, definitely. That is the best way for you guys, by the way, if you would like to support NoDQ.com. Pick up a t-shirt over at ProWrestlingTees.com. Use the code SAVE5 to get a 5% discount. There's a direct link in the description box of every video where you can go right to the NoDQ store. We got 18 t-shirts up there right now, and I do plan on putting out a 20-year anniversary shirt, maybe with all the logos on it or something cool. So stay tuned for that. Edward says, Aaron, are you really passionate and looking forward to seeing a certain favorite of yours win the Royal Rumble? I don't really care who wins the Royal Rumble as long as it's somebody different and it's an entertaining storyline. I'm just tired of the same people every year winning the Royal Rumble. I'd like to see a first-timer win it. So if it's Shin, I'll be happy. If it's even Baron Corbin, I'll be okay with that. Well, not really. I don't want to see Baron Corbin win the Royal Rumble. Definitely not Jinder Mahal. I would have to say, you know, Shin or I'm not sure who else. Maybe Seth Rollins. That would be interesting. Rusev would be great. I would be interested in that. It's the Costanza. I think Wade Barrett was just joking. Wade Barrett posted something on Instagram saying he was getting his abs ready for the Royal Rumble. That was, I believe, a joke on his part, and he's not actually... The thing is, if he was coming back to be in the Royal Rumble, he would not even tease it. He would keep it on the down low. You know, it would ruin the surprise if he's coming back now. So, you know, that was pretty obviously a joke on his part. Hamp says, I would like the Royal Rumble to actually mean something again. It's going to be a really interesting show because it is in Philly, and will the crowd hijack the show if things don't go the way the fans are hoping for? Sammer ICJR91 just left a $2, I believe, US dollar super chat donation. I would love to do a panel video one day with you. Absolutely. Email me, nodqmisc@gmail.com with your Skype info and availability, and we'll try to get you on for a future NoDQ panel. Stinky Toffee 12, are you going to watch Wrestle Kingdom 12? I have answered this a couple of times now. I will watch Jericho versus Omega. The rest of it, I have no interest in watching. I will check out Jericho's match, though. Maybe if I'm interested enough, I'll check out the main event. Wrestle Kingdom is, what, the 4th? So it's going to be at some really awkward time Relaxing Ghost, is 30 women too much, Aaron? Well, it's not too much for Ric Flair. For the rest of us mortals, it might be. Scott Steiner, definitely not too much. But seriously, to answer your question, time will tell. That match could be a train wreck. I mean, my fear is that you're going to have so many green women in there that it's going to be a bit of a mess and throwing people over the top rope. And this isn't sexist or anything. I mean, the women are, for the most part, a lot shorter than the men. So it takes a lot more effort to get the women over the top rope than the men, for the most part. And I don't know if the star power is really there with the women either. So it could be a train wreck. I don't know how it's going to go yet. But if WWE books it well and spreads out the surprises, and you have like Trish in the match or Victoria, you know, maybe 4 or 5 of them and then some NXT women, and you spread it out over the match, it could end up being good. If it's booked really well, I think that that would overcome the shortcomings of the women in trying to do the match. Kayfabe Candy S says biology and physics are sexist. Brain says I kind of hope Ronda Rousey wins. The Blitz VIP member says no Ronda, please. So some people like it, some people don't. It's interesting because now that Asuka has been Alexa Bliss, some people are thinking maybe we are going to have a little bit of a swerve. You know, Asuka is the current favorite to win this match with the betting odds. Maybe Asuka will win the title, that is, from Alexa Bliss at Raw 25. And they'll have a match at the Royal Rumble, and Asuka will not be in the Royal Rumble match. That might make things a little bit more interesting. What if, well, I don't think John Cena's winning the Rumble now. I mean, he could. You don't know. You don't know for sure. But what if Nikki Bella wins it, and then John Cena wins the men's Royal Rumble match? How angry would people be if that happened? That would be like Roman Reigns level heat. I don't think Nikki's going to win either though, because, you know, Nikki and Brie talked about coming back as a team. So I don't think there's going to be a scenario where Nikki wins. You know, they would maybe be in the match, but then afterwards they would team up together and be a team instead of doing single stuff. TJS says Eva Marie should be in the Rumble. Somebody should put TJS in timeout for even joking about that. What if Brie Bella won it? Brie Bella's not going to win it. That, I think, is highly unlikely in all likelihood. Over the Top Rope says AJ Lee for the Rumble win. Keep dreaming, pal. That ain't happening. I mean, if she did come back, that would be a pretty awesome moment. But then the problem with bringing her back is right here. Fans would start chanting for CM Punk, and I don't think that's happening. That, I think, is the most highly unlikely of all the possible scenarios. It would be awesome, don't get me wrong. It would be the coolest of the scenarios, but I don't think that's going to happen. And I don't think AJ Lee's going to be there. Stinky Toffee 12 says if CM Punk returns at the Rumble, I'll donate $100, and I think that's pounds. How much is that in US dollars? Darren says, what's up, Aaron? How's it going, Darren? Thank you for tuning in. Virtue for the Women's Rumble. Ooh, savage right there. Oh, by the way, speaking of Virtue and NoDQ.com, we will be doing another video with hopefully Big Vito and Jexy coming up in a couple of days. And that video series will now be known as the NoDQ Review. We will be reviewing Raw and SmackDown and the news of the past week. Stay tuned for that. Unreal Papa says Aaron needs 100 pounds, way too skinny. I'm 5'7" and 150, so I think that's about right for somebody of my height and frame, but could be wrong. You know, the most I ever weighed was 200 pounds, and according to We Fit, I was obese. I was considered obese when I did the We Fit training thing where you weigh yourself on that. So 200 pounds, my what is it, the BMI, body mass index, I was considered obese at 200 pounds. Asuka will win the Women's Royal Rumble. We'll see. I would not be surprised if Asuka won the women's title at Raw 25. Chosen One just sent in a $2 super chat donation. Why not save the 5-way for Mania over Fastlane? Well, I think it's better to do, especially for the main titles, I think it's better to do one-on-one matches rather than do multi-person matches, unless you're going to do like a triple threat. But that's only in special circumstances, like WrestleMania 30. Ryan, what is your typical daily diet? My diet is chicken, steak, and salad, pretty much. It's a boring diet. Dane says, someone tell me how I can donate, please. You click that little $sign for the super chat donation. The Rock will win the Royal Rumble. Yeah, keep dreaming on that. That's not going to happen. Caleb Jacobs just sent in a $1 super chat donation. Thank you, Caleb. Appreciate it. Mark Brown says, what about Sable for the Rumble? I don't think Sable is wrestling again. I could see her going into the Hall of Fame pretty soon. That, I think, is a possibility. Over the Top Rope says Triple H will win the Royal Rumble. I hope not. I sincerely hope not. Like I said, I don't want to see a 2-time Royal Rumble winner. The Cheapest Heat says Deborah for the Rumble. Again, I think you're going too far back. If any of the people from the Attitude Era come back, it'll be like Trish Stratus. Maybe Molly Holly. I don't know. Never say never, right? Who else? I said Victoria earlier. I could definitely see her being in it. TGS says Scott Steiner needs to enter. By the time Scott Steiner gets to the ring at his age, it'll be Royal Rumble 2027. Hab Connell just sent in a $2 super chat donation. I miss the days when the Royal Rumble winner was the focus of WrestleMania. As do I, and it hasn't been like that in a very long time, unfortunately. A bunch of people in here suggesting Tori Wilson as a Royal Rumble entrant. That would be interesting. Aaron says Lita. Never say never. Maybe Caitlyn, since there's, all this hype about her coming back and coming out of retirement. Kelly's another one I think is a realistic possibility. Rebby Hardy. I don't know about that one. Maybe. It'll be interesting. Jacqueline is another one. Emma, I don't think so. I don't think we'll see Emma. Layla, Michelle McCool, Ashley, bunch of names here, Melina. It'll be interesting. I would think that there will be a good 4 to 5 surprise entrances. Oh, okay, Wade just made up from earlier. Wade sent in a $2 super chat donation. Luther Reigns returned to beat up the camera guys. If Luther Reigns shows up, I am boycotting WWE for real. I don't care if my business takes a hit, if it's not ethical business practices. I'm not watching WWE if Luther Reigns comes back to the company. And I'll leave it at that. The Relaxing Noob says, hopefully Aaron Rift wins the Royal Rumble. And he left an NZ $5 super chat donation. Regardless of what that amount is, thank you for that. And thank you also to Tommy. Ambrose Long just sent in a $2. Is that symbol a pound? I'm not sure. $2 super chat donation. Hopes for WWE in 2018. Would love to Skype one day. Would you love to Skype with Sunny is the question. But you're referring, of course, to the NoDQ panel. Again, email me nodqmisc@gmail.com. Your Skype availability and when you're available and all that stuff and your username. Hopes for WWE in 2018. CM Punk coming back. That would be my number one fantasy, would be CM Punk returning. Second would be Daniel Bryan coming out of retirement. I'm just trying to think of big stories that would generate some hype and interest. The Relaxing Noob just sent in a $20 NZ super chat donation. Love the channel, Aaron. Thank you, Relaxing Noob. You're officially on the NoDQ VIP list. So any questions or comments you have, I'll make sure to get to those. TGS says, who is Reigns dropping the title to? That I don't know. I'd love to see Samoa Joe win it since he lost to to Reigns on Raw. Maybe 6 months to a year down the line, Joe beats Reigns. That would be cool. Don't know if that's going to happen, though. As far as other hopes for 2018, just in general, I'd like to see more compelling shows, faster paced shows, more interesting storylines on a week-to-week basis with everyone from the top to the bottom, you know, just like the Attitude Era. You don't have to be as raunchy as the Attitude Era. Just have more storylines and more development of these storylines on a week-to-week basis. Godfather and his hose for the Royal Rumble. I'd like to see Godfather at Raw 25. You know, we've already seen the Godfather make surprise Royal Rumble appearances. As much as I love the Godfather, we need to see some different people. I've said this over several weeks. I like to see Ken Shamrock at either Raw 25 or the Royal Rumble. He might be too old, though. Over the Top Rope says Ken Shamrock for the Royal Rumble. Ring Scoop says, imagine if Shane trades KO and Sammy after the Rumble for somebody like Braun Strowman. Daniel Bryan would be pissed off. I like that storyline. That would be interesting if they did a trade and got Strowman over to SmackDown and Owens and Zayn went to Raw. But I sense at WrestleMania, after all this build-up, it's going to be some sort of blow-off match with Shane against Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn or maybe Daniel Bryan, who knows, but it feels like that. It feels like there's going to be some sort of conclusion to all this at WrestleMania, and Shane's going to have a big match. Xavier's Wood, I like that username. Didn't WWE cancel LA events during the 1992 riots? I don't think so, because I recall going to a few sports arena shows in 92. I'm not sure when, off the top of my head, when the riots were, but I went to a show in the summer of 92. I went to one in like February, though. I think the riots were the end of 1991. I'm not sure the exact date. But I went to a show in early 92 and then in the summer of 92. So, to my knowledge, none of those shows were canceled. It's the Costanza says, if Reigns wins the Rumble, Philadelphia will riot. I could see Philadelphia rioting if Cena wins or Reigns wins, or if Rusev gets eliminated right away like Daniel Bryan. I don't know if Rusev's at Daniel Bryan's popularity level yet, but it feels like he's getting there. So it's going to be really interesting, the crowd reaction on that show. Todd Beavering says, 123 Kid and Razor Ramon need to appear at Raw 25. That would be awesome. I'd love to see that. Have them do a little bit of a reunion, or maybe have them be in the corner of a couple of different people. That would be a fun segment. Tomas TV show, what did you think of the Logan Paul stunt? I'm just annoyed with YouTube because they keep restricting my videos with limited or no advertising, and then I appeal the videos, and literally every single video is approved after being flagged at first. So YouTube is screwing with me, and this guy has, what, 3 million Twitter followers. His YouTube videos get millions of hits, and he posts a video of himself making fun of a guy that committed suicide, and YouTube apparently is cool with this. But they stomp on the little people. So that bugs me. I'm more annoyed with YouTube than anybody else. But yeah, the guy's a prick. Just stupid stuff for hits, and you know, I'm just doing this, and I barely have 54,000 subscribers, and this guy, he does a bunch of goofy off-the-wall stuff and has millions of hits. Whatever, that's life, gotta deal with it. Caleb Jacobs says, Ronda Rousey winning the Women's Royal Rumble. I could see that happening, especially if Asuka is not in it. I mean, there's all this talk about Ronda Rousey, and it feels like maybe WWE is downplaying her being in the match, and Triple H is saying they haven't even entered negotiations yet. Ronda's been training. She's been training for a WWE match. I feel that WWE's purposely downplaying this to try and make it more of a surprise. With that being said, it might be better to announce her appearance in advance and not give away her appearance as a surprise. You can look at it in different ways. I still think I would be surprised if Ronda won the Rumble, but I would definitely not rule it out. I know she's got a movie she's working on. The Relaxing Noob just sent in a $5, oh, my good buddy, the Relaxing Noob, sent in another $5 super chat donation. Would you rather see Hulk Hogan versus Stone Cold both in their primes, or Muhammad Ali versus Iron Mike Tyson? I'm not a boxing fan, so that's an easy question to answer. Obviously, the wrestling one. I really have no interest in seeing a boxing match, regardless of the boxers. That's how little interest I have in boxing. Ring Scoop says, bring back Val Venus. Have Ronda be his manager and rename her Ronda Rousey. That was a good one, Wade. Nice joke there. I would like to see Val at Raw 25. That would be a nice walk down memory lane, or strut, whatever Val likes to do. Season 3 of Wrestling Trivia Challenge will be this weekend. Stay tuned for that. Big match coming up. Ryan says, damn Aaron, you're getting rich off of YouTube. Not quite like that Logan Paul guy, but I'm working on it. MVP is a surprise entry. The funny thing about MVP is every single year people say MVP is going to be back, and he always has to shoot it down. So I think the one year where nobody speculates on it will be the year that he finally returns and makes an appearance. Maybe EC3. I know the rumors about EC3 coming back. I'm not sure when his contract expires, though. It might not be till the spring, from what I'm recalling. But it would be cool to see, you know, somebody who's a free agent. Maybe Ricochet shows up in the Royal Rumble match. Couple cool surprise debuts, just like AJ debuted in 2016. Anyways, guys, I will go ahead and wrap up this video tonight. As Virtue says here in the chat, send in topics you would like us to discuss on NoDQ Review coming up this week. Ambrose Long just sent in a $2 super chat donation, so I got to stick around here for another minute or two. Batista for 2018, Animal versus Beast one final run. I like it. I'm definitely a fan of it. I would like to see Batista come back and have one more proper run as a heel. Let him do the spotlight. Let him just be an arrogant prick. Batista versus Brock Lesnar, I think would be awesome. Batista versus Braun Strowman would be cool. And then, you know, just so Batista's happy, you can do Batista versus Triple H. Just not at WrestleMania. Ring Scoop says he would like to see Sid on a NoDQ panel. As would I. That would be a very interesting panel for sure. Of course, coming off of this recent controversy with Sid, that would be quite the interesting panel. The question is, would he show up for it? That's the big debate. But he did appear on Extreme Mayhem, our old audio show back in 2003, so he did make that. So maybe Sid would make a NoDQ panel. We'll have to look into that. Anyways, guys, on that note, I will go ahead and wrap up this edition of NoDQ Live. If you guys have questions here that I did not answer, send them over to Twitter and use the hashtag NoDQturns20. That is the new hashtag for NoDQ video moving forward to celebrate 20 years of NoDQ.com. NoDQturns20. Use that hashtag, send in your questions for NoDQ video, and that'll do it. Thank you guys for your support and all the super chat donations tonight. Yes, hashtag NoDQturns20. Send in your questions. Send us some questions for NoDQ Review coming up this week. NoDQ video coming up. The return of Wrestling Trivia Challenge. And that's it. I'm done here. I'm signing out. I will see you guys next time.